G'day everyone. So I'm outside again today. I'm working on top of my old table tennis table, and I have come up with another bit of an idea that I would like to make a collage beaded shell, even though I've done one before. So you can see I've had a little play with my design, and this is where I got my inspiration from. This is the one that I've done previously, which I've already made a clip for. One of the things I also did was I reorganized my beads. So I kind of put my colors together on top of the towel. I put my uglies together, and while I was going through my uglies, I've actually found a few shells that I think would go really well with my next piece. I've already put a wash on my bit of timber that I had laying around, but what I'd like to do is probably make the frame outside a little bit darker. So when I'm making a wash, I've just taken some acrylic paint, I put it on a little bit of palette, and I've got some water. One of the things I'm going to do is just give it a bit of a test. Oh, that's too dark. First, so I'm going to add some more water, just to make it a little bit more, not as bright. I still think that's too dark, because once it goes on that timber, it'll actually be really hard to get off. Okay, I think that would be a bit better. Maybe that just use the water from there. Okay, now I like a frame. Oh, now I want it darker. Take some of the first water. I actually like the frame within a frame, so I'm going to take some of that and put it on here. Just work that in a little bit so it's not such a hard edge. I'm not going to add any more paint, but I'm just going to soften the lines so that it sits in there. That's good. So this is some of the jewelry that I was given, and I've tried pulling them apart, but it's just a bit too rough on my fingers. So what I've done is I've grabbed a pair of pliers, and all I'm doing is pulling those links off. Now I am keeping the link just in case, you know, I need a bit of bling for something, and it's nice and easy, a lot less pressure on my hands, and then that will just eventually come off. Now again, you want to make sure that your composition fits, so I put my piece of paper with my drawing over the top, and I think that'll look quite nice there. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Here you can see that I've just redrawn my shell picture. And now what I'm going to do is just cut that out, and then I'll use that template to trace it on the wood. Now when I place my shell template on my timber, what I am going to do is just think about where my placement is going to be. I actually like my work to have a little bit more space on the bottom than I do at the top. It tends to sit better and present a little bit better. Now, once I've got that on there, all I'm going to do is just trace around there nice and lightly, enough so that I can see the pencil, but then later on I'll be able to rub it out. I just wanted to show you that I have drawn on my shell, but it's a little bit hard to see, but I just wanted to show you anyway. This is where I think I'm going to go with the piece. I've got some colour down the inside, color on the outside. I brought some of the beads from the top to down the side, and then I'm going to use some of these bronzy colored beads to fill some of the gaps, as well as do that little inside piece. And then I'm going to probably use a few little bits of dangly chain for any of the gaps, and then bring it together. There is nothing particularly artistic about me putting the super tack on. What I am doing is making it as thick as I can, because I did not want those beads coming off. But what I am doing is I can do a section of it, and when a glue starts to run off my brush, just to make sure I get the glue, I actually turn my brush and try to make sure that my edges are thick rather than thin. I have put on my larger pieces, and now I'm going to think about putting in the fillers. I nearly forgot to take a photo of this. It's so exciting. I actually like it already. So I'm going to do a little bit more at the top. And here we go, ready for the tip test. Okay, it's not too bad. Oh, okay, it's a little bit bad, but that's okay. We'll see where the gaps are. I'll pick those up and add some more. What I did was, when I did my tip, I actually had a few beads left on the white section that I'm putting more beads on now. So I just decided to add a few more just to soften that starkness of that large shape. Yeah, I think that's done. There's the finished piece, all ready to hang. I'll probably let it dry overnight and I'll do the tip test in the morning because odds are I'll be tipping more beads off, but that's okay. I can glue them back on. Hope you enjoyed the beading. Don't forget to like me on Mrs. Herbert Art at Instagram and like the channel. Thank you. Bye.